everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk to you about a program called TheAWord on BBC One here in the UK. And TheAWord is a drama about a little boy living with autism, and as an autistic female I thought it was important to share my thoughts on the drama program, and they're doing it as a form of awareness to educate the general public on autism. So I thought I'd give my thoughts, and here we go. So Series 1, Episode 1, TheAWord. This is where we get to meet Joe and his family for the very first time, living in the Lake District. They are celebrating Joe's birthday. Then we see Joe, who slowly gets overwhelmed with all the attention, ending up with too much sensory input for him to process. We get to meet his granddad's mum, his granddad, and his sister Rebecca, and his uncle Eddie, and his girlfriend Nicola, who is a doctor. And Alison takes Joe out in the car to get him to sleep, as he was struggling to get to sleep. And during that time we realise that Joe is exhibiting autistic trait behaviours. We know that he is struggling to communicate. With the birthday party situation, he was getting overwhelmed. He threw himself on the floor. He didn't socially interact with the other children in the scene, and that is exhibiting classic autistic traits of behaviour. And also his language is delayed as well. So yeah, then we see Alison later on in the episode looking up language delay videos on an alternative site to YouTube, and she was watching how these children were delayed in their language, their speech abilities, and how she was recognising that in Joe, her son. And she was getting angry because she was trying to help Joe. And we get to meet Paul, which is Alison's husband, Joe's dad, and they take Joe back to the hospital, and they are getting him the assessment for autism. And you get to see Joe interacting with the doctor. The doctor asks him to do a puzzle with her, and you get to see him sort of withdrawing and not really talking to her and kind of pulling away. I think after a few hours of being at the doctor actually comes to a diagnosis conclusion, and she gives Joe the conclusion of autism spectrum. And I don't think they cope with that too well. The family seem to be really quite upset, and they struggle to comprehend the diagnosis for Joe in that episode. So for me, as an autistic female, I'm not being funny, but it doesn't happen that way that quick in reality. Like, it takes a long time to get assessed and a diagnosis. It took me about 3 years to get assessed and diagnosed. So it's not really truthful reality, but I can understand why they had to do it so quickly for drama, and also just to show the everyday struggle of getting a diagnosis for a child. So yeah, that is my kind of thoughts on episode 1. They show you what it's like for an autistic child with the sensory input, and the children, the crowd, and being around people who you may not necessarily know. So yeah, please give this a like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with the next video. I'll see you soon. Bye!